Hello everyone, it's Sandra with Outside the Box Soaps, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be making a soap with Bite Me fragrance, which is comes from Nature's Garden, and it's a citrusy fragrance. It has lemon, orange, and cherry. They're kind of the predominant notes in there. So I'm going to be using some colors. Going to be using green for the lime. Did I say lemon or lime? It's actually lime. Going to be using orange for the orange. And I have some red for the cherry. And I also have some titanium dioxide because I want to be able to break this up. And my base color, I think, is going to end up as a rose because I'm adding some rose clay to this. I have recently had a bar that completely lost its fragrance, and I'm very upset about that. So I read that kaolin clay helps to keep the fragrance in. I don't have any of that right now. I'm waiting for it to get here, so I'm going to try the rose clay instead. So, lots of different things in here. I have olive oil, coconut, palm kernel, shea butter, castor. I have added some neem oil, which is really very nice for your skin. Also have some rice bran oil. I have some beetroot powder, which is another item that's really good for skin, and that is mixed in with the rose clay. I've also put in some colloidal oatmeal, and I am using sodium lactate. So there's lots of stuff in here. So let's see how it goes. My plan is to do a hanger swirl. So I want to leave this loose. Don't want to get it too worked up. And let's get started and just make some soap. So I do want to strain my lye water because I do use silk. So here's my strainer. And we will get that all nicely incorporated into the oils. Okay. Stir it up a bit. Give it a few blasts. You know, this part is a little boring. I really hesitate to put my lye in before I start the film because I do explain what I'm doing, and I am always terrified that I might end up with an incident for that extra couple seconds or that minute or whatever. Okay. So this looks like it's well incorporated. It's certainly not a trace yet, but I don't want to do that right now because I'm going to try to get all of my colors together. And once I've done that, then, you know, we'll see where it is. So I'm not going to use a whole lot of each color. I'm going to try to find that my hanger swirls sometimes fail because I put too much color in them, or at least that's what I think happens. Could be too much color, could be not the right thickness, but anyway, I'm not going to make a whole lot of each color because the bar is going to be mostly base. And just, I don't know if you're at all interested in this, but I've been adding, when I do my white, aside from titanium dioxide, I've been adding just a couple of little drops of green colorant, and it really brings that white to life. It makes it really, really pop in the finished soaps, or at least it has for me lately. So I want to add too that I am using these colorants that I just love. These micas are beautiful. They're all very shimmery, and I will put a link below where you can get them. You can buy them in a sample form where you get 10 different colors. They're nice, generous amounts. I found them to be really great in my soaps. I've not had any issues with them at all. And I love the colors. They're very bright and vibrant. So if you're interested in learning more, I'll put a link to where you can get some samples. And they are nice, generous samples. So you can get a few uses out of a sample bag. Okay, so now I'm going to add the rose clay, the beetroot powder, and the colloidal oatmeal into the primary color. Lots of powders in here, so probably going to take some blending to get it together. And you know, as I'm thinking, I'm going to wait. I'm going to do that that stronger blending when I get my fragrance in, just in case we have a bit of a reaction. And this is a little bit brighter than I wanted it, so I think I'm going to add some titanium dioxide in, and maybe we can lighten it up just a bit, because it is going to make up the base of the soap. And I think I do like that a little bit better. Personally, I like a white base in my soap, but I realize that it's pretty boring when everything in your line has the same color as the base. So I've been trying to do some different things in terms of bases. So we'll see how this one turns out. So there's my white, and then I will get my orange. And my colors were diluted with some oil, some sweet almond oil, so they're not going to be sticky down at the bottom. So I can mix them with this little stick. And then I have my red, which I do make from beetroot powder. Just a bit of beetroot powder. And then once I've actually mixed it into the soap, you can see it does lighten up just slightly. So I just do just a very tiny bit of fuchsia lab color just to make it pop a little more red. And if you add too much lab color in, then when it dries, you get more of a really bright pink than you do a red. So, all right, now hopefully my oils will cooperate once my fragrance goes in. So let's do that next. And I have added some of my soap oils to my fragrance. So this is not all fragrance that I'm putting in. It's a combination. And it does have the rest of my my soaping oils in there. So there we go. I think that I've got everything that I need into the mix at this point. I'm going to pulse this just a bit. Because it does look a little bit grainy, and I would like it to be better incorporated. Okay, so looks like that's helping. It's looking better. And then I'm gonna just get my fragrance mixed into these. and the fragrance seems to be behaving very nicely. Hasn't done anything to my batter, which makes me happy. It's always a nightmare when you add that fragrance and all of a sudden you've got a big lump. So thank you, Nature's Garden. This is not doing that. And mix up my red a little bit. Okay. So I kind of think possibly this is a little too thin for a hanger swirl. I don't want the colors to all sort of mix together. So I'm going to pause you for a few minutes. I'm going to try to get this just a bit thicker. I don't want it too thick. It's that balance between, you know, the right consistency. Not too thick, not too thin. Right now it looks like it's at a light trace, at least in this bowl. So I will be right back when I'm ready to pour. Okay, so I've got my mold ready to pour. Gonna put this base layer, most of it, into the bottom. And then gonna tamp it down a bit. Tamp down. Okay. So then I think what I'm going to do next is take my my red got kind of funny in this soap. So I'm gonna take the white next, stir it just a bit, and let's just pour. Ah, it's not going in. Try to pour from up high. It looks like the base got a little thick. Okay. Then next, I'm gonna take the green. And looks like we've got more plop than pour. That's okay. Next, we will take the orange, and we've got some nice pouring action there. And then I'm going to take this red, which I hope will dry out a little better than it looks right now. And we've got some pouring going on here. So I'm liking that. Okay. So let me just get these mixed up a bit and we'll do round two. They do need to be stirred at this point. Okay. So we're going to try to coax that white right out of the cup. Alright, let's go next for the orange and the green. Well, I know that they won't all blend together because they're a little too thick to do that. But hopefully they'll be fine enough to mix up at some level within the batter. So let's see. Let's get this baby out along here. I think I might have stick blended a bit too much. Okay, get the red, which doesn't look red at all, but we'll see what happens in the final product. Alright, so now I'm going to tap it down. And you don't want to see what just happened with that tap deal. It just went all over the place. But, okay, so we are tapped down. So now I'm going to see what I can do with the hanger here. Let's move this in just a bit. Cover up some of the spilly, sloppy parts. Let's move it in. I'm going to go down in the middle. Gonna go over and back, and this is really thick, folks, so I am going to do my best. I'm doing circles and I'm bringing them up to the various levels. Now I'm going to just go in and out, and we'll see what we end up with. Okay, so I'm just going to take my gloved hand, clean that off. And then I'm going to take the rest of this, going to just try to spread it thin across the top. And it's not really bothering me too much that some of the white is getting mixed in with it. I'm not really too concerned about that because we're at the top of the bar at this point, top of the loaf. Just want to even it out a bit. Okay. Alrighty, so this may be the strangest Bite Me bar ever made, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to pause next because I'm going to just take everything out of all the cups. I'm going to get all the colors ready and then prepare to do my top. Okay, so I am back. And I have scraped all of my excess from all the cups and pots. So I think I want to try to spread it a bit because it did get kind of lumpy, and as I'm going, of course, it's getting harder. So the first thing I want to do is to try and kind of get it equally spread out, and then to try and do some sort of a design with it. So let me see, maybe a spatula is a better tool for this, just to kind of get it all in the corners and to not have it higher in one place than in the other. Alright, so now I'm gonna just take a skewer and I'm gonna play with it a little bit with the skewer. Mostly gonna try doing just circles and maybe some figure eights and some little design patterns here to try and get it just nice on the top without making big gaps or holes in it. So I think the time for doing nice, neat, you know, comfortable little swirls is probably past for this loaf, but it's okay. I just would like it to have an interesting color pattern at the top, and I think I've got that. It's a little muddy, but not terribly muddy. So the very last thing that I'm going to do is just to add some shimmer to it. I do have some yellow marigold glitter in a little sample, which I'm going to use. Just put some of that on top. Just brighten it up a little bit. And I also have a red orange. So since the fragrance does have an orange in it, I'm going to use some of that since orange is part of the fragrance. And just here and there, not a ton. It does smell good. I hope that the fragrance stays, because right now it smells pretty nice. Alright, so that takes care of the orange red. And then we do have I don't really have a green, but I do have gold. So I'm going to use just a bit. This gold looks beautiful in finished soaps. It's very shimmery. I have another one that I used it on and it just glistens. It's really, really pretty. And this is something that I ordered off of eBay. It's a cosmetic glitter. But again, I get, try to get samples to see what I like and what I don't. So this was one of the little sample bags. You can see that here. Okay, so let me bring it in for a close-up. And that is what this loaf looks like. We will see tomorrow after cutting what it looks like on the inside. So thanks again. Please remember to subscribe. If you have comments, questions, if you like or don't like stuff, please share. And we will see you in the next one. Okay, thanks.